everyone, this is Mike Gore, and welcome back to a perfect playthrough of Castlevania 3, where our objective is to accomplish everything this game has to offer here on Castlevania Month. And man, the objectives here are insane. Technically, you just have to beat the game, but I'm gonna go a step beyond and beat every single stage in this game. During 15th century Europe, there lived a person named Dracula. He practiced sorcery in order to create a bad world filled with evil. He began taking over the continent of Europe, changing countries from good to bad. The good people of Europe tried to fight off Dracula, but no one was able to survive. Wow, that's very great writing right here. Finally, the Belmont family was summoned to battle Dracula's vile forces. The Belmont family has a long history of fighting evil. Again, great writing. No wonder this became a Netflix series. The townspeople became afraid of the Belmont's superhuman power and asked them to leave the country. Fortunately, the people found a mighty Belmont called Trevor. Are Belmonts a family or a race? The curse of Dracula has begun. The fate of Europe lies with Trevor. Yeah, that's very riveting writing right here. I'm gonna give this game some sake because this game's pretty freaking awesome, all things considered. And man, the road to trying to beat this game in under an hour, well, that was the easy part. The hard part was including every single stage in the process. In a normal playthrough, you can't do that. You can only play anywhere from 9 to 10 stages. Now, with this first part, so I gotta play some speedrun and borderline task strats in order to beat this. The first run there is pretty simple. Just ignore everything and go straight in here. It's all about and take out that whip and a candle. So I get the power up. And time to jump and whip. Jump to the left, the right, damage boost. And don't forget the holy water. Get used. For Trevor, we're basically only making use of 2 weapons: the holy water and the cross boomerang. All right, we want to jump down here. Alright, so the facts kept telling me to skip that power. So I was following task strats, so I was ignoring the full upgrade for my whip for quite a while. Eventually, I'm not going to be able to do that, so I don't know why he kept skipping the last upgrade. Like, it was just in my... And then we go down here. I needed to do that to manipulate the 2 block. So that's why I grabbed the final power up right when I did. Damage boost. And I got my holy water fully upgraded to a 3 block, so that's nice. Holy water spam to oblivion, and burn out my heart so I don't have to count the time that it takes to count down. And that's it for stage 1, pretty easy. And now we have our first choice. We can only play up to 9 levels, but in general 10 levels is the max you can do per playthrough. So, however, the level 2 is completely optional. So right now all I do is climb up these steps, jump holy water, boom. The tasks actually attack that night. I don't have to do that. I have to walk up those stairs because there's like a block in the way. This took quite a while for me to nail down to a T. Alright. Full optimization of this game's controls. I'm honestly amazed that there isn't as much to talk about so far. I used the whip so I could cancel out the landing lag. I don't do this all throughout, but every little bit helps when I can. Now, my objective is to try to avoid getting hit by these Medusa heads. Because they knock you down once you're basically dead. Disappointed that there aren't any hearts in that money bag, but I digress. With the Medusa head, because I had to. Good thing I got a heart out of it. Keep climbing up. And this took a while to nail down. This is definitely one of the hardest screens in the game. Because of these Medusa heads and bottomless pits. Here I decided to just wait for that Medusa head to pass me by. Attack that one so I could make progress. Attack that other one. And that was kind of easy. And now, we get to... And there's something else about Castlevania 3 that was introduced here besides branching paths. My name is Grant. I dreamed I was turned into a ghost. Please take me with you. My family was killed by Dracula. What will you do? Take him with you, of course. Yup, we have optional playable characters that we can recruit. Though we can only recruit one of them at a time. And you can only run into up to 2 of them per playthrough. There are 3 in total. Which means we are going to be making some branching paths. Unfortunately, this is the only stage that you will see Grant in action. It has some neat features including wall and ceiling climbing, and if you play the Japanese versions, he has a throwing dagger that you can use free of charge. But in the US version, you have to sell for that jolty, that horrendous jab motion instead. Now, I'm not concerned about keeping Grant from getting hurt so long as he doesn't die. Because now we have to make our way out of the clock tower. Stupid Medusa heads. That was a close one. So yeah. However, in the US version, all he has is that stupid jank thing. That jab motion instead of throwing the daggers. But he can equip the throwing dagger as well as the axe. I believe he's the only character other character besides Trevor that can equip those 2 weapons. So, I hope you enjoyed that game, Grant's gameplay here, because we're saying goodbye to him. Because we have to. We have to cut ahead to stage 3. And we are not just covering every block, but every stage, but every block as well. Fortunately, you can't do the opening block for stage 3 with that if you recruit Grant. Grant skips the opening block of stage 3, this block altogether. So I had to cut him for the rest of this run. A real shame too. He probably could have been. I hesitated just long enough for that ghost to create distance between me and that ghost. Jump and whip. Keep moving. Jump and whip. Yeah, amazingly, there's literally nothing going on with block 0. I had to wait there for a bit to manipulate the owls. Same there too. And admittedly, this was some amazing optimization on my part. I manipulate the damage boost with the owls, and I got the 2 block for my efforts. I manipulate the goblin, I think they call it. I didn't know that those little hunchback things are goblins. I mean, where did they get their idea for a goblin? And I deliberately took damage from that bullet thing. But man, the owl screen is one of the worst screens in the game, by the way. It was bad. Took me hours to make it past that thing. And now we have another sub-branching paths. We could either finish up the remainder of stage 3, or we could head on to one of the stage 4s in the game. We're gonna finish stage 3 and take on our next recruitable character in her playable route. The whip was to manipulate the ending lag, more so than anything else. Making great work on my cross. I definitely need the cross, not just for the owl screen, but for a large portion of what's about to come up with Sypha's route. The cross is also extremely handy. Oh, the 3 block. Good thing now I don't have to worry about manipulating anything. Alright. Just gonna keep throwing the cross at those spiders. We have 7 crosses, so that's good. Oh, didn't need that 8 heart. And I got an extra life. I had empty out all 8 of my hearts anyways. And you can only and the thing about the Cyclops, you can only damage them in the eye. Hitting him anywhere else does nothing. Thanks for helping me. I'm Sypha, the vampire hunter. I will follow you if you need my help. What will you do? Actually, this is one of those, I'm guessing this is one of those Samus Aran type of deals, where it turns out that Sypha is a woman. But we get a recruiter, and because we are going to play through her route for the time being, we will be seeing an awful lot of her in the coming playthroughs. So far, that's really all there is to do it. I haven't really found a use for Sypha yet. Because all Sypha really has is that lame-ass stick that she uses. It's actually a rod. And man, she is weak. She has absolutely no... By the way, this is my first time playing as Sypha. But she even though she has a weak-ass range and a weak-ass width... Oh, I already got the fire... I already got the fire tome from her. That's good. Unfortunately, what I really want is the ice. Or the lightning bolt. Fire one sucks. And I don't know why I didn't think, hey, maybe I should try grabbing those, more of these candles and try to get the tomes there. Because I was following around the I mean, for the Grant and Sypha portions, I was basically following a couple of tasks. I need to wait a bit for the next set of platforms. So really, I'm just breaking through these candles, trying to check what is available in each of them. Again, I probably would be better off just going for these candles instead of skipping them, because this is not how the task handles this series of events. Man, I wish this was the end of stage boss. Because that bitch was easy as hell. Come on, let's go. I need health, so I snap a turkey. Something I noticed is that it seems like these lanterns are color-coded. But I can't verify that, because there are red, blue, and white lanterns, which correspond with the colored tomes, so I wonder if there's a connection. And as a reminder, Grant can play through these stages. Alucard can as well, but only with the name and password system. However, Alucard is not meant to ever come down here. And yes, it's the same Alucard that becomes the main playable character in Symphony of the Night. And we are stuck with this lame-ass fireball, so... Do I swap? Yes, I do. I swap Sypha out for Trevor because Sypha's fireball simply isn't gonna do anything against these guys. So I'm just gonna keep spamming through the... Yep! And I was able to successfully spam through my expend my heart usages at the nick of time. And now we are heading on to our next stage, which is a tower stage. Like, joy, oh fucking joy. And let me see. When do I switch to Sypha? Back to Sypha. Because don't worry, I'm not gonna just up and abandon her like this. And I made it up in one piece. I try to manip him to cause knockback on me, but it didn't work. So I'm gonna swap him back for Sypha. And that's good. We got the ice block. Shit. And this is an auto-scroller. And yep, you get to see the ice block in action. And I hope you enjoy the fireball, because that's the last you'll ever see of that. I mean, it has decent damage output, but you can only fire it right in front of your face. But you can use it more frequently. Whereas with the lightning ball, you can't. Alright. I need to go this way because I want to swap out the ice tome for the lightning tome. And there we go. We got the ball of lightning, and I got a stepping stone to shortcut my way up here. And unfortunately, the lightning bolt's not totally great at capacitating opponents. I'm basically at the mercy of the projectiles until they all leave the screen. And yes, they all have to leave the screen in order to make use of them. This isn't like Alucard's fireballs at all. And I'm taking quite a beating. But luckily, the next boss is Frankenstein's monster. And as a heads up, Frankenstein's the scientist, the monster is just the monster. See, I can't exactly expend my heart usage when the lightning balls are just dancing around the screen like that. So I'm gonna have to take the downtime. Oh boy, and then we are on the bridge. Yep, I'm still just... And, I don't show this off, but you can freeze the water with the ice tome. The reason why I don't show that off is because I need the lightning ball a lot more than I do the ice stone. And this is faster than freezing the water. And that heart, that big heart up on that platform, there's only two ways to get that. Freeze the dragon statue right there and play hopscotch with its head. Or use Grant. I mean, I am basically just eating up hearts at this point. I'm not even trying to grab them. They are just falling on my... I mean, it's the darnest thing. Damage boost. I mean, the lightning ball is extremely broken. So don't underestimate it. It's probably the most powerful weapon in the game. And if you want to know, I skipped a couple frames of opening animation frames by mistake. I forgot to record this section, an earlier version of this section. And then just use a save, and then just saved over my save states. Moral lesson: check your recordings before you skip anything, like I did. Now we are playing the final stage of Sypha's final stage, and man, this stage required so much optimization that I basically lost so much sleep and so much hours of my life Thursday night playing through this, alongside other stages. I was determined to make my deadline. Man, and this is, and this is why when you practice a route, take notes on the frames in which you want to input certain commands. And double and triple check with those inputs. Because unfortunately I'm not able to jump on the dragon statue and then skip the stairs altogether. The task allows you to do that, but it doesn't seem to be possible here. There seems to be some unusual quirks with the Japanese version, as opposed to the English versions. Anyways, there's really nothing special about this screen because there are no enemies here. What a rare occurrence. Don't forget to mention that this music's freaking awesome. I mean, it's Castlevania on NES, and it's Konami in the late 80s and early to mid 90s. They were just going ham with epic and catchy tunes. Now here is all about heart management and staying above the bottom of the screen. By the way, the top of the screen can kill you too. And I swapped out the ice tome for the lightning ball. And we don't need to go after the red guy. So yeah, this isn't like Alucard's fireballs at all. If there's just one ball of lightning out and about, you won't be able to cast another one until all three of them disappear. Come on, you stupid. Aim for the eye. And I will absolutely need those hearts, by the way. Unfortunately, I'm not able to manipulate a long strat, and I ran out of hearts. But that's alright, I beat the gargoyle to death with my stick. And now we are done with Sypha's run. Time to use a save state to go back to that branching path back in stage 3. So we clearly played through Sypha's route. Now it's time to take on Alucard's route. The lower paths will do. Now here I while I did rely heavily on some tasking strategies for the most part, for this section, I'm mostly relying on what's his name? Let me just look it up. Ooh. Castlevania 3 speedrunning tutorial. It's the guy who did those tutorials, so I'm about to pick up a very valuable item that I will be relying on all the way up to the final level. I'm trying to look it up. So, and I picked up the holy water. Now, if you're going through the sunken city route, do not get the holy water. Get the cross instead. Trust me. And I'm trying to manipulate certain things here. Trying to keep my heart count down. Manipulate. And wow, I got the 2 block. I meant to manipulate the 2 block at this candle right here. Oops. Damn it. Fuck. Okay, good. I killed the bat. Just manipulating the attacks. And that's it for the stage 4 boss. And now we are going into stage 5, which is Alucard's route. And here I have to, in the first half of my video was largely reliant on tasks in order to figure out how best to optimize my patterns. However, I had to come up with a few strategies of my very own because the tasks are Japanese versions. But I can definitely give thanks to Speedrun tutorial. Let me see. Freelance 1787. So shout out to him in his speedrun tutorial, as I basically followed along with his strategies all throughout. The Alucard portion anyways. However, it should be noted that once again, I came up with I still had to rely on a few of my own strategies because it's a human playing the game in real time, and I'm trying to optimize for speed. Jump over that thing. High jump. And the 4 hearts I have should be all I need for the Dracula fight. Right here is good. And the bats kind of get in the position where they are about to separate you lob them, and then you get out of the way when the bats hover over you. So what happened was that the 2 holy waters I threw landed on the block that Alucard materialized around, allowing it to perpetual damage to his head. Them both to deal perpetual damage to his head. I'm surprised you beat me. I've been waiting for you. I need you to help me destroy Dracula. What will you do? Well, take him with you, of course. I'm glad to hear that. Let's get him. I am Alucard. It's kind of funny. Many people actually, Alucard's seen as the hard mode of Castlevania 3 in a sense, but it's really just a significantly longer playthrough. But we're not quite done with stage 5. I did damage nips, so, and then swap to Alucard. And here it's all about accumulating hearts for the next set of branching paths. I'm dealing. Alright, we are ready, and to be fair, for this part coming up, just a heads up, I actually replayed stages 4 through 5 all over again up to this point, so I could get the keep the cross. I absolutely need it. And this is basically the only bit of action Alucard gets to enjoy. Facing Trevor, making sure Trevor faces this guy. Because this stage is absolutely brutal without the cross boomerang. You absolutely need it. For example, those crossbows actually kept that dragon neck from being a problem. Just wrecking all kinds of havoc. And if you want to know how I got the 3 block, it's since I didn't go through Sypha's route to get that. It's simple. The last candle of the stage 4 block 2, I had to rely on Alucard to get past that dragon head without taking damage. It's paramount that I manage how much damage I take, and I do have the hearts for this. However, swapping back and forth like this is very time intensive. Damage boost, invincibility frames. By the way, beating the invincibility frames up those stairs was definitely a hassle, and I had to manipulate the dragon head. For example, I could actually swap to Alucard right here to completely circumvent this guy. However, this is still faster because you're still swapping back and forth between Trevor and Alucard. And this is the reason why we absolutely want the cross. And that's it for the first portion of this boss fight. The task is able to single shot. And for the record, this isn't Freelance 1787 strats. This stage is yet another task. Freeland took the catacombs route because this stage is such a lengthy one. You can use Alucard to go straight for the stairs, but again, I think it's a tiny bit faster just getting to those stairs with Trevor than it is with Alucard. And something similar to with here. It might be a little faster with Alucard, but honestly, even with this change back, honestly, it's too marginal to make a huge difference. And I just manipulate my crosses and my whip throws to finish that boss off. But now we are resuming Freeland's It's Freeland, right? Freeland 17, yeah, Freeland 1787's route. And we are resuming Dracula Stage 5, which is pretty easy. Because all we have is this lone boss fight. However, it's faster with Trevor. Like, significantly faster with Trevor than with Alucard. Keep in mind, he's actively getting away from me, and I'm still able to do this. Alright. Stage 5 is in the books. Now we are on to the other Stage 6, which is the Catacombs. And is the speedrunner's choice for Alucard runs. The only sub-weapon Alucard can equip is the stopwatch. Fortunately, it's an extremely expensive investment, so we won't be making use of it, but it's there in case of emergencies. Alright. That was pretty easy. Actually, I make it look easy. In actuality, it's incredibly hard. And I'm not doing any glitches. I'm not doing sequence breaking glitches like clipping through the ceiling, like what Freeland does, because that kind of defeats the purpose of a speedrun. You can sequence break through. It's okay to sequence break through oversights, but not glitches. For example, Alucard is so broken. And this sequence is significantly faster with Alucard than with Trevor. So we get to fight this guy with Alucard instead of Trevor. Alright, so that's it for the Catacombs. I have a hunch that the last part of Alucard's cave, as well as the Catacombs, they are surprisingly short stages, all things considered. I mean, I guess it makes sense. But this stage is freakishly long. This is the cliffside, and it's the longest stage in the game. You have to wait for the water droplets to land down, turn into a bat, pop the bubbles, and it's all about farming for those precious hearts. We're gonna need every last one of them, I'm sure. Because this is a long one. Alright, I'm gonna reach the tip, and I manipulate the bubbles to knock me up there. Oddly enough, once you anticipate the falling blocks, this sequence is surprisingly easy. And I took some notes. You want that second slime to start jumping. Take a few steps back so you could jump and land on the heart and the enemy. And those require some super precise inputs. I'm timing my jump and shoots. And I'm skipping this annoying ass section, where the objective is to just wait for the blocks to send you up here. For example, that is acceptable because that's considered an oversight. And just completely ripping this stage a new one with Alucard. Like, we don't even need to take care of this screen. Like, I don't even need like a save state for this part. And fly close to the bottom so we can despawn the Medusa heads and get those 2 hearts. I believe for this next put we need like 14 hearts. So we're in pretty healthy condition, all things considered. And this is an auto-scroller, not like the auto-scroller in Sypha Stage 5, I believe. But more like the auto-scroller from Castlevania Adventure, except going down instead of going up. And no spikes. And yes, this is the ideal time to swap to Trevor, because we can get the cross and wipe out all these other enemies before they can touch us. So yeah, I'm at 14 hearts, so I think that's good. I think Freeland had 15 hearts when all is said and done. Take care of this guy. And honestly, this is a good thing because I'm trying to make adjustments so I could land squarely right here. All you need are 2 holy waters and then just whip them like crazy. Try to manipulate this guy to charge after me. Good. He was far more cooperative with me than he was. And I wound up using a shit ton of, using quite a ton. Sorry. I know I shouldn't be swearing, but I used an excess of, holy waters, but that's fine. Alright. Turns out, level 4, the 8 holy waters I left was just enough to beat this guy. And that's why I wanted to keep the holy waters, by the way. It's not for the next stage, even though the holy water makes the next boss fight a complete cakewalk. I already learned my strats with Dracula. With Alucard. Cool screen transition. Yes, I deliberately manipulated the frames to do that for your pleasure. By the way, if you knock down a holy cross stand like that and then go pick it up as Alucard, Alucard can still use it. Even though it's supposed to be like a special item or ability that only the Belmonts can make use of. Honestly, only the Belmonts can conjure them, but anyone can use them. Phase through the gaps. And I need to go farming for some hearts because and just completely bypass the remaining enemies. But I'm going to need a couple more hearts in order to make it all the way to death here. Because I'm going to just barely be able to make it. So, can we do it? I'm trying to finagle. It's absolutely essential that we actually get the damage in when he first spawns. And that's it for... I basically made death my... You know, I gotta stop swearing. So I'm gonna stop doing that. I made him out to be a real donkey, though. And honestly, I tried following freelance strats, and I was like, you know what, screw it. These stupid monkeys. Insert robot chicken joke. These things can go to hell. So I'm just gonna take up. So if they spawn, I'm killing them before they even touch the ground. And I have no idea how you are expected to get those candles unless you have the axe. Keep in mind, Alucard cannot defend himself as a bat, which means you can't even shoot projectiles with them. So really, and there's no walls or ceilings to climb either, so I'm guessing the axe is the only way to do this. Trying to make my way up here. I thought about using a stopwatch here, but I was like, yeah, let's try this. Okay, that'll work. I deliberately took damage here. The rest is just freelance strats. And I dodged the skeleton. Apparently the skeleton's name is Richard. And there was a candle up there that I keep taking out before it becomes visible. So keep that in mind that there are candles there, and that's why I'm jumping up and shooting. Or whipping, or whatever. Even when it's off screen. For this next part, I think you need 14 hearts? No, 16 hearts. No, you need 17 hearts, is what this is the actual count. Fortunately, I have to take this long road. I have to take the damage here. And I'm at 17 hearts. I can ignore the bat. There's a turkey behind there if you want to grab it, but I'm not going to try. Double hop with the heart. Turn to a bat at the top of the stairs. We actually have to be above the platforms for this part. Man, I have a lot of hearts. Definitely in excess of hearts. Time the holy waters to stunlock this guy. And I barely got rid of my last remaining hearts right as I grabbed the orb. By the way, if anyone knows what those orbs are supposed to be, or why it's important to grab them, in terms of Castlevania lore, and I manipulated the hearts here, because we're going to need every last one of them. Spawn the axe, then the 3 block with the holy water, and then grab the axe, and then the holy, and then the 3 block. Now my axe is fully charged up. I can use 3 of them at a time. Nice freelance strats right there. Unfortunately, this is an automated process, but the trick is to try to keep the Medusa heads as close to the top of the screen as possible so they would despawn. Sometimes there really isn't anything you can do about it. So I grabbed all the hearts, carefully navigate my way down to the bottom, narrowly dodged that bat, and I'm gonna hit that bullet so I could damage boost and grab another heart. This was a tricky strat to pull off. I basically had 2 shots hit the spider and the candle with the heart at the same time. Gotta take the damage boost. To be fair, even though I'm not clipping through it, the damage boost is still necessary to make it past that skeleton throwing the bones at you. And I hope you enjoyed Alucard's bat transformation, because that's the last you'll ever see of that. We are about to swap into Trevor Belmont, and this is when I'm about to blow your mind and beat this game in an hour. In under an hour, actually, I should say. Jump whip axe, and this is basically, and again, this is all freelance strats. You want to stay on this platform? Jump, axe, 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 axe. And I used up what's left of my hearts and beat this guy in a single phase. And it took me 57 minutes to beat this, to beat every single stage in this game. I am so freaking stoked about this. 57 minutes. Oh yeah, here are the 4 different endings. I'm not gonna read all of it, but just note that I'm primarily using Alucard here as an aside. So, yeah, Trevor made many sacrifices. The long fight is over. Dracula is dead and all our spirits are asleep. I'll say. Long fight indeed. And then the next paragraphs tackle these in the next paragraph or 2 are basically just character specific. For Trevor alone, Grant alone, Sypha alone, or Alucard alone. And I honestly kind of like Sypha's ending, though Alucard is the fan favorite. After this fight, the Belmont name shall be honored by all people. But man, this took a ton of work. Like so much bloody sacrifice. Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse. Man, this was an experience. Trying to get to this point in under an hour. I mean, keep in mind, I bet we all had curfew. A lot of us had curfew. Curfews on how long you can play video games. And for me, the standard was about an hour. And only on weekends. At least until I stopped coming home with homework because I was doing them at school. Just so I could have more free time. But man, then my opportunities expanded to about an hour and a half to 2 hours. But this was definitely something of an incredible experience to be had. Starring Trevor Belmont, who I chose not to give a name, so make that with all you will. But if you like what you see here, leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel, I greatly appreciate it. With all that out of the way, this is Mike Gordon signing out. Good night.